Welcome to Truth on a Plate with Meal Planet, where we serve facts, not fads. I am Khalid, the founder and CEO of Meal Planet. Today, I have with me my dear friend Tina Chagoury, clinical dietitian and hormonal expert. I'll be discussing a very interesting topic, which is detox. And today, we'll be asking her very interesting questions. First and foremost, what is a detox? What is the risk of going on a detox? And obviously, what's the best way to go on a detox? Tina, welcome to Truth on a Plate with Meal Planet.
Thank you.
Good to have you again.
Thank you.
Tina, tell us about a detox. I've personally tried to detox my body. Never happened. It was never successful.
Never worked?
I've never actually gotten to detox.
Yeah.
It sounded too much to handle. And I've never experienced it personally. So maybe after this episode, I'll give it a shot if you recommend that. Tell us what the detox is. Please.
Detox is a very nice word to hear. And it gives you the sensation that you already detox. When you say I'm going on a detox, it feels like you're cleansed, you know, everything is fresh and starting from zero. In fact, we detox. As we're speaking, we're detoxing. You know, the liver is constantly detoxing. The kidneys is constantly detoxing. The skin, the whole system, the lymphatic system. We're always detoxing. The body is amazing at detoxing. Now, here's the trick though. With the environmental toxins that we're surrounded with the stressors in our life, with the quality of the food that we are eating, we're exposed to, with all these factors, the body is finding it a bit more difficult to detox naturally.
Interesting.
And this is why now, yes, there are ways to stimulate the liver to detox better. There are ways to hydrate the body more so that the kidneys are detoxing better. There are ways like infrared saunas or like lymphatic drainage to stimulate the lymphatic system to detox better. So absolutely, we can detox. But here is the misconception about detox. Detox does not involve having a number of juices and eating nothing and expecting our body to detox.
That's exactly what I thought it was.
No, because this way, what you're doing is actually you are not supporting the liver's function. You are putting more stress on the liver. Your intake of carbs is very high, especially when you're doing the fruit detoxes. Even if you do a mix of fruit and vegetable detoxes, because you're taking it in the form of juice, the absorption is much faster because it lacks the protein, it lacks the fibers, and it lacks the cofactors. Because there are cofactors needed for the liver to do this detox step.
Gotcha.
And these cofactors involve proteins, amino acids. It involves a special family of vegetables. We call it the cruciferous vegetables. So the broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, bok choy. It involves glutathione, for instance. This is where supplements play a role. So unless all these factors come into place and you give them to your body consistently and in parallel, you have to remove the toxins.
So what I understand from what you're saying is this not one type of detox, there are multiple types of detox.
No, there is the best detox is to know what the body needs and the liver needs and the kidney needs and the lymphatic system and do them together simultaneously. So for instance, I'll give you an example.
Please.
If you go on a fruit or juice detox, okay? But you're not moving, you're not sweating, your lymphatic system is not active. And whenever you go back from the juicing, you're just eating anything. This is actually overburdening your liver.
Gotcha.
So
Makes sense.
you need to eat a certain level of anti-inflammatory food to make sure that the liver is not distracted with detoxing with other things. This is why, for instance, I always tell people who want to detox, before you add things to detox, start removing the things that are adding pressure and stress to your liver. Number one is sugar. Minimize or remove from your diet.
But if you go on a fruit detox, isn't that full of sugar?
طبعا, it's high in sugar. So whether it's the natural sugar or the processed sugar, they both cause stress on the body. In fact, fruit sugars, fructose, has even more pressure, does even more stress on the liver because the fructose is mainly metabolized in the liver.
Gotcha.
And this is the misconception about fruit detoxing. And when I tell my clients that proteins, amino acids are key for detoxing, they're surprised. But we thought if we want to detox, we stop eating meats and proteins. That's not true. You need a combo of amino acids and some types of vegetables, plus removing all the inflammatory substances, ultra processed foods, the chemicals from the environment.
Sure.
You know how much the creams we use and the perfumes we use and the makeup we use adds to the intoxication of the body.
Sure. And all the processed food that we eat, everything is now is processed. So
Exactly.
So if I want to ask you about what is, like, give me like an example of a recipe of a detox that us busy individuals and UAE can follow. I understand that there's no one detox plan that works for all. And but just a summary.
I'll give you.
Yes,
I'll
please.
give you a good day.
Yes.
A detox day. You start your day with having a warm water with lemon and Celtic salt, or a bit of apple cider vinegar and Celtic salt. Okay, this starts stimulating. It regulates your stomach acidity and it starts stimulating your liver. And then you'll have a high protein breakfast, high in healthy fats, a good avocado with maybe egg whites. You minimize as much as possible carbs in the morning. And then for lunch, you're going to start with a bowl of bone broth, because that is the elixir of detox. Because it contains this collagen and amino acids that heal the intestines. Because at the end of the day, what's the detox? It's healing the body, right?
Right,
Making
right.
sure that you're
Interesting.
clean. So you do this bone broth for lunch as a starter, and then you'll have a big salad with broccoli, with a cabbage, with radish, with carrots. These are amazing detox vegetables. With a nice fish, for instance. You can have a bit of rice, steamed rice, let's say with it. You can have some berries in your salad, antioxidants, right?
Interesting.
And
so you
then-
can actually eat. Sorry, but you can actually eat. So
Of
it
course.
really is a misconception, right?
Of course, you have to eat, but eat the right thing. And then between your breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you fast. You do mini fasts so that the digestion is complete, 4 to 5 hours. And then ideally for dinner, you'll have a nice hearty soup with protein made with bone broth.
Interesting.
And then throughout the day, depending on your need, there are supplements that you need to take to stimulate the detox pathways.
And that leads me to our last question. What is the risk of going on a detox?
If you do the wrong detox, and if you do the detox we spoke about, like the random juices or not eating anything, you are at risk of deficiency. So you're depleting the electrolytes from the body, number one. Number two, you're depriving your liver from the cofactor it needs, especially proteins. Because most the commercial detox you see have no proteins. These are the two main factors. Three, you fall in the trap of detox, under eating, overeating. Detox, under eating, overeating. You do your detox 3 days, you starve yourself, you're craving food, you messed up with your blood sugar, you start eating more, and then you're like 2 weeks later, oh, let me redo a
Gotcha.
detox. You get stuck in this.
Which leads me to one more question. Sorry. How many times is it recommended to go on a detox, and for how long? A year?
It depends on your lifestyle. If you're someone who's healthy and who's doing his lymphatic drainage, his exercise, you eat 80, 70% of the time anti-inflammatory, you don't need any detox.
Sure.
Because you're consistently supporting your
Detoxing,
liver.
right.
But if you're someone who travels a lot, who's under stress, who doesn't always have the time to eat right, at least twice a year you will need. I would say within every 4 to 5 months, have a good detox for a good 4 weeks. Detox is not 2 days.
I need to
It's a 4 week
do
of-
3-4 times a year
Yeah.
for myself.
Yeah.
Tina, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
coming. Really appreciate having you. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.